Good morning, students. Now we are going to discuss on the topic bottom-up parsing. So this particular topic, it is from Unit 2, from this particular subject, Principles of Compiler Design. So from this particular topic, we could get an idea. So here we are going to perform the parsing process, and then the mechanism that we are going to use over here is bottom-up mechanisms. So basically, we have two types of mechanisms as top-down mechanisms and bottom-up mechanisms. Here we are going to apply the second concept. We used to call it as in bottom-up mechanisms. So bottom-up mechanisms, we used to start from the bottom and we move towards the up. So we are going to start from the input string and we move towards the start symbol. So that's why we used to call this particular parsing process as bottom-up parsing process. And this is going to be the introduction for your bottom-up parsing mechanisms. So here we are going to construct a parse tree. The parse tree, else otherwise we used to call it as an syntax tree or syntactic tree. So this particular tree will be constructed in a manner we used to start from the input string and we move towards the start symbol. So that's going to be the procedure that we're going to follow over here. And so here, as per the tree terminologies, we used to start from the leaf nodes and then we move towards the root node. So we used to call it as an bottom up parsing, where in bottom you will have leaf node and at the top you will have the root node. And whatever the parsing process that we are doing over here to construct the parse tree, we used to call it as an bottom up parse or bottom up parsing mechanisms. So basically you will have some translation procedures over here. So using those translation procedures and repetitive application of the productions, we used to attain the results of this bottom up parsing mechanisms. The next, these are the sequence of steps that we have given as an example for bottom up parsing mechanisms. So we are going to start from the leaf node, which consists of id into id, and then we are moving towards the start symbol, the root node which is nothing but the capital E, or else the capital E, which is going to be in start symbol for this parse tree. So initially by using the production, reducing f gives id, so id will be initially reduced to capital F. So that's going to be the first step process that we have over here. So the leftmost id will be taken, and using the production f gives id, the id will be converted to capital F. In the third step, we are going to further reduce the capital F to capital T. So using the production F gives capital T, we are going to reduce the capital F to capital T. So this is going to be the third step that we have over here. And then in the next step, we have an option. Straight away it would be possible for us to convert capital T to capital E. Though you're going to convert capital T into capital E, and then finally you'll have E asterisk ID, and then there won't be any more conversions possibles after that. So which is going to be results in error over there. So instead of converting capital T to capital E, here we are going to choose the rightmost ID, and then using the production F gives ID, we are going to reduce the id to capital F. So that's going to be your fourth step. In the fifth step, the t asterisk F together, which will be reduced to capital T. So using t gives t asterisk F, we are going to convert t asterisk F to capital T, and finally this capital T will be converted to capital E. Now we have reached the start symbol, the capital E. So we are starting from id as asterisk id, and then we are moving towards the topmost start symbol, capital E. So these are the sequence of steps that we are following over here. So in these steps, we are following the procedure of leftmost scanning. So we used to scan from left to right, and then we used to derive in a manner that rightmost derivation in reverse. So these are the procedures that we are following over here. And the usage of bottom-up parsing mechanisms. So in this usage, basically we are going to take some general expression, and using some grammar mechanisms, we are going to uh, use this bottom-up parsing process. So basically this bottom-up parsing could be applied to shift reduce parsing mechanisms, which is going to be one of the important thing. And then using this shift reducing mechanism, we would be able to build some LR grammars. And using LR grammar, it would be possible for us to develop LR parsers. So whenever that you're going to use LR grammar, and then you're going to perform parsing process, which is going to be results in LR parsers. So in LR parsers, suppose if you are going to construct using your manual process, and in hand mechanism, it seems to be a very complex one. Instead, we need some automatic parser generator to construct LR parsers, where L stands for left to right scanning, and R stands for rightmost derivations in reverse. So we have some algorithms to implement these parser generators. So these are some of the usage. So this could be useful to construct SRP. From SRP, it would be possible for generate LR grammars, and using LR grammar, it would be possible for us to construct LR parsers. But it wouldn't be possible for us to create using some manual process. Instead, we used to use an automatic parser generator, and using those things, we would be able to create LR parsers. So these are some of the usage of bottom-up parsing mechanisms. And the reductions. So while discussing about top-down parsing, we used to concentrate on the terminology derivations. But here, while concentrating on bottom-up parsing, we used to concentrate on this particular terminology as reductions. So reductions is very simple. We are going to apply the productions, and then the productions, for example, you have T gives, for example, F. Now the F will be reduced to capital A, capital T. So from the rightmost symbol, we move towards the leftmost symbol in the productions. So these types of conversions, we used to call it as an reductions. So in this reducing process, um, we used to have some specific substring that will be converted to some other non-terminals, or some other start symbol, based on the production that we have, and based on the replacement procedure that we're going to follow over here. So these are the reduction process that we have. So to any expression grammar that you're going to use, so to those grammars, these reduction process could be applicable to generate a sequence of strings, and then to reach the start symbol. So at each reduction step, you will have some specific substring, so matching the body of production that could be replaced by a non-terminal at the productions. So this is going to be about reductions. And then the key decisions in applying the productions, that's going to be a very important one in using this reducing process. And then here we have example. So this is going to be one of the best example as how we have applied the process of reductions. So here we have to start from the rightmost option as id asterisk id. In this sentential forms, the input string, which is going to be id asterisk id, and then here initially we are going to convert the id into f. So the production that we're going to use here is f gives id. where the id will be converted into f, and then further the f will be converted into t, and then in the next step the rightmost id will be converted into f, and then t asterisk f will be converted into t, and finally the t will be converted into capital E. So these are the steps of process that we have over here, starting from the terminals and moving towards the start symbol, and then the process of applying the productions, and then at appropriate places, which seems to be a very very important one. Suppose if there is going to be a wrong way of applications of productions, in replacement of productions, then there will be some errors and we wouldn't be able to reach the start symbol. So in this sequence of conversion process, we have to apply the productions properly at appropriate places to reach the start symbol. So that's very important here in these reductions. So with this, I'm concluding about bottom-up parsing. So you people have to keep in mind that bottom-up parsing is nothing but we are going to start from the leaf node, and we are going to move towards the root node. That's going to be an important thing, and this process we used to call as in bottom-up parse. And then the mechanism that you're going to apply over here is nothing but reduction mechanisms, and this could be applicable to SRP and then LR parsers. So these are the various important things about bottom-up parsing mechanisms. So students, so thank you for listening. With this, I'm stopping this session. Thank you.